Hello and welcome to Let's Try Kaiju-A-Go-Go. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but that's the best I can do. My name is Micah, also known as Marlowe from Explorminate, and this is a game that is not really a 4X game, although it has some 4X elements going on in it. But it has a lot of cool stuff going on in it besides. The game is essentially that you are a mad scientist. I believe that we play the mad scientist that is pictured here uh, below the logo, and that we have created a Godzilla-like large robot thingy, and we are going to use it to terrorize the world to make them bend to our evil will. So, fun to be had by all. And so that's what we're going to do. And of course, we have a secret base on an island, probably shaped like a skull or something, that we can build up as we go. And that's where some of the 4X elements come in, because we can build different buildings that depend on resources that we can get through different means. The primary means is by rampaging around various cities around the world and causing wanton destruction. So we're going to start a new game. In this video, I'm going to start a new game and show you how things start out. And in the second video of this Let's Try, I'm going to carry on with a game that I've been playing already that's a little further along, so you can kind of see what the game is like at a later stage. So for right now, we're going to have a new game. This is the only kaiju. I think that is the term for the large monstrous creatures. I think the other two are not yet available in this current version of the game. I think this Ginormosaurus is the only kaiju available, so we'll take him. And a headline pops up. Strange comet approaches the Earth, and some other things. Madman's Manifesto. That's us. And so we'll click to continue. There is a lot of dialogue here that is actually very clever. It's very humorous. I have laughed out loud several times while playing this game. I'm not going to actually read through it because initially the dialogue takes quite a long time, and I don't want to cut too much into our actual game time. But I encourage you to look through it, as you go. So let me take a moment while the game is paused to show you some things. This green bar here, 400 out of 400, that's our health. 50 out of 30, that's our energy. 300, that's our energy. We use energy for various abilities. Right now we just have one ability, but we can have others later. We can gather energy, we can gather money, we can gather research, we can gather food, and we can gather these purple crystals, the use of which I honestly am not sure about. Meanwhile, this shows us the city that we're in. We're in Anchorage, Alaska. It's the city we're about to terrorize. Their morale is currently at 100. If you get the morale low enough, they will surrender to you, although it will take several trips to do that. This green blob up here is actually a radar image of the screen, and as we rampage to the city, parts of it will start to turn red, showing where the city is damaged. That's pretty much all you need to know to start out with. So, yeah, so we'll kind of play around with it. You can zoom in and out with the wheel. I'm going to pause. Yeah, I'm going to pause. You can use the space bar to pause. You can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. You can left click and drag around to see the city. It looks kind of SimCity-ish, SimCity 2000-ish style. So this is the city of Anchorage, and so we're going to terrorize it. And by stomping through it, Godzilla style, because that's what you do. So we're going to, and the way you control your kaiju, your large monster guy, is you just left click and he'll go there and he'll destroy anything in his path. Meanwhile, you have these abilities down here that you can use. Right now we just have one, and they are mapped to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the number row keys. So we can get more of these later. We can upgrade our robot dinosaur guy as time goes on. But for right now, let's unpause, and we will come in here and we're just going to send him towards the Anchorage Arms. That's, I assume, a hotel. And we're going to take down these office buildings. As we destroy buildings, we will begin to collect resources. Some of it depends on what kind of... There's some randomness involved from what I can tell. Some of it does involve the type of a building that you're destroying. If you destroy residences, you tend to get money and food. If you destroy offices, you're more likely to get some energy. Now, the energy is a tricky one because you need energy for various things back at your base, but you also need energy to use your special moves. So, you know, it's easy, especially here at the beginning of the game, to end up with a good bit less energy than you'd like to have, and so you can't use your special moves as much. But after you upgrade your robot to a certain degree, you actually can use your special moves quite a bit. So that's, you know, a point to kind of work towards. At first, I have to say, I think the pacing of the game is a bit, I don't want to say off, but I do think that the oh right, yeah, they'll surrender if we get the city's morale below 40%. Once that happens, then they will they'll pay us a tribute, basically. It's like being a vassal state. They'll pay us a tribute, and then we don't have to worry about smashing them anymore. We can smash other cities. So, yeah, and see, we've taken some damage because the police came and shot at us. You know, like they do. Happens to me all the time. But you can definitely, like, we just laid waste to that entire city block, which is kind of awesome. You can zoom way in, actually, which can be helpful. Now, you can see over here there's a Jeep and a tank. They're going to try to hurt us. So we need to try and do something about that. There's some helicopters coming in after us, and honestly, sometimes I honestly don't do much about them. I just kind of survive it as long as I can and make a trip. You can, no, yeah, if you get to the edge of the map, it will ask if you want to leave, because that's how you do leave. You oh yeah, we stomped on those people. That was, you know, kind of us. But hey, we're playing the bad guys. What can you do? So yeah, they're going to shoot at us. They're going to do damage to us. They don't do just a ton, but the longer you stay, the greater the response from the city gets. So you do, you know, you want to try to defend yourself to some degree, but you can't do it too much, because it just doesn't, you know, you can spend a lot of time chasing around these things that it just doesn't pay off in the end, that I have seen so far. We just use a special ability to light some places on fire. These buildings will take damage over time once you do that. I'm not using the special abilities much at the moment, just because we don't start with much energy. So, and you can see up here there's this little red streak. That's where we've been. And now once we leave the city, the game is a real-time game. It's not turn-based. So once we leave the city, it will the city will start to rebuild, and so we'll want to come back relatively soon so that we can you know, we don't want them to make too much progress in their rebuilding. That would be inconvenient for us. So that's kind of part of the strategy element of it. We need to zoom out a little bit so I can see where we're going. Okay, let's move down here towards these oil tanks. We might need to turn and run before we get there. You can take down these helicopters out of the sky. It is not easy to do it on purpose, at least not with the abilities that we have right now. Some of the abilities that we'll be able to train are, oh, there we go, we just took one out, and boom, it hits the ground and it explodes, which is actually really cool. But that attention to detail is nice. it's funny, sometimes he'll take it out, he'll take out a helicopter that's right in his path, and then sometimes he won't swing. I don't know if that's working as intended or if it's not really supposed to do that. I mean, this is something of an early access game, so I think, you know, there's still probably some kinks to be worked out. You know, I don't know if that's supposed to work that way or not. We're going to leave soon. You can see our health is getting down to about halfway. I find, especially in the early game, that's a good time to start trying to kind of make an escape of some kind. Now, our energy is full. We cannot pick up any more energy. We did just pick up a ton of money, though, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Our food is also full, and our money is going to be full in the near future. We got the morale down to 70% on our first trip. That's pretty cool. We're going to stomp these jeeps because they're there, and we're going to leave the city. All you do is walk to the edge of the map. It'll ask you if you want to leave, and you say yes. It gives you a summary of what you collected, and off you go back to your secret base. Yeah, do not think you have won, Anchorage. I shall return. Yeah, okay, so here's the game clock. You can speed it up. Once something happens, it will automatically kind of slow back down. And then once you get back to your base, you can see all the stuff you collected. It goes through and, you know, fills up these meters. And our base has a certain capacity of energy and money and so on and so forth that it can store, but we can expand that capacity by building things, which we will shortly do. We can click to continue, and we're going to slow down time for a moment. Yeah, there's our monthly update. We do have costs at our base to run things, and so this is something that we need a constant stream of income. All right, yeah, we need to clear some jungle, right? Yes, we need to build things. Our robot has to be repaired. The first thing we're going to do is clear some jungle, right? You just click over here on clear land, and then you click on the area that you want to clear. It costs $25,000 and takes 7 days. So it'll do a little countdown. What I like to do is speed time up. And right, our robot has been repaired. And is there any training that we can do right now? Right. The I-beams are pretty cool, but the defense is even better. Let's go ahead and train this ability. Now, that's a passive defensive boost, which will allow us to stay in the cities that we're invading longer. So we'll speed up time to the maximum to get our training going. Okay, so we put armor on the robot, which is cool, and our land is cleared, which is going to give us some building room. Let's see. Let's slow down time while we look at the build options. Okay, yeah, go away, go away. Okay, so we've got production. Stop that. Okay, we got production, training facilities, storage facilities, and defense, and so on and so forth. So defense is because eventually if you piss off enough cities, I think they come and attack you. That actually hasn't happened to me in my other game yet, so I don't know much about that. A capacitance silo could be good. You have to store you need to store the power. That would be good to have, but I don't know that we're producing. We do have a nuclear fission plant. So what does the organic processor do? Large amounts of. Oh, it produces food. That's not a bad thing, but it's not hard to get food. Energy, I found, is not easy to accumulate and keep. So I'm going to queue up the capacitance silo to be built. Let's build it. So you just kind of drag it around to an open spot. The background of it will turn green. You hit confirm and it'll build. Now, there's no need for us to sit here while it builds. We can send our robot back out. Now, here's the world map. You can click and drag around it. The world is divided up into regions. Let's just focus on region 1 right here. A city with a green flag is a tier 1 city, white is tier 2, yellow is tier 3, blue is tier 4, and red I think is tier 5. Yeah, tier 5. So, right now our city, our robot is just not man enough to take on a tier 2 city. We're going to focus on Anchorage. I find it best to focus on one city at a time, for the most part, not entirely. I won't say entirely, because what'll happen is after you visit a couple times, the citizens wise up to what's going on, and they have tanks and planes and army guys waiting to shoot you when you get there. So you can't just keep pounding the same place over and over and over again without certain consequences. So it's definitely, you might want to spread it around to some degree, but I would certainly advise taking on these tier 1 cities to begin with. And see, Anchorage is on alert, so they're ready for us to a degree. Now it is nighttime, so things will look a little bit different. Sorry about that. I didn't really notice that was going to happen. We're going to head towards the Anchorage hilt down over here, and we're going to do some damage. Now we still just have the one ability, but our defense is up, so hopefully that will that'll help us survive longer. And as you can see, when we left, the city morale was at 70. Now it's at 85, so it's gone back up, and so we need to do something about that, and we will. Now one way to get the morale to go down faster is to focus on squashing houses and people. That makes the morale go down faster. You maybe don't get quite as many resources from doing it, but that's a great way to get that morale to go down quickly. Okay, Mr. Tank, you are really... Yeah, there we go. You're dead. Alright, we destroyed that. Let's come back over here to this refinery that they have rebuilt, because if you can find power plants or factories or refineries, may not be as glamorous as taking down a skyscraper, but man, those things are lucrative to attack. So, definitely worth it. Alright, let's aim our fire spit ability here. Take some stuff out, get a little chain reaction fire going. And later on, we'll have the ability to shoot lasers out of our eyes and light things on fire, and use like a fire breath attack and some stuff like that. Right now, all we can really do is just kind of spit this green fireball, which is cool. It's cool, but it's somewhat limited, and it's not as cool as it could be, and we can't just do it all the time because of energy reasons. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna attack residences. Is a good strategy to make morale go down faster. And the fire does actually do damage over time, so that's something to keep in mind. The game is well designed in that regard. When something is on fire, it is actually being damaged. We're going to attack the power plant. We are at our capacity for energy, but we're just going to attack it anyway, just to piss them off, basically. And so this will, yeah, it goes down quick. And no, I don't want to leave Anchorage, not just yet. But we'll continue smashing things. Let's go kind of this way, and we're just tearing through stuff. Certain things you don't even have to attack. You can just walk through some of this stuff, and you'll do damage to it. And yeah, stuff that we're leaving behind is often because we're full. Like, we're carrying all the food we can carry right now. We're carrying all the energy we can carry right now. That's often a good time to use an ability. you know, when you're carrying all the energy that you can carry. But you know, we'll aim towards that fire hall. A lot of times I just kind of put the cursor somewhere kind of far away, especially when a lot of the city is still there. I haven't done that much damage to it yet, and that way he just kind of goes on autopilot, and I can kind of stop and let's go towards the museum. We took that down before, but we'll take it down again. Where are some more houses? There's some houses and stuff over here. Apartments. Okay, maybe that's where we need to be going. But as you can see, we're lasting a little bit longer when it comes to damage. The abilities that we have right now are not terribly useful when it comes to defending ourselves, which is one of the reasons why I'm not using the ability to defend myself, is because it's really, this particular ability is really better against like buildings and stuff. So alright, we're going to start to head out, but we're going to do it by going through these houses. Because we are being damaged fairly quickly, just because they're ready for us now. They knew we were coming. The first time you attack a city, you're generally going to catch them by surprise. So now we do have the city morale down below 60%. That's good. It'll probably be down more around 55 by the time we get out. One nice thing is you can stop and drop off a firebomb, and your abilities do have a cooldown, but you can kind of stop and drop off a firebomb. Well, we didn't get down to 55, but yeah, we got to get out of here because we just don't have a lot of health right now. Again, that will improve. Alright, so what I usually do here is just kind of speed time up till I get home, get back to the island, click to continue, slow things down while I check out what's going on at the base. Okay, we've built the silo. See if there's anything else we want to build right now. Quantum storage would be good, but we don't have the resources for that. Production. A research facility would be good. We need more books for that. We need more of everything for that, quite honestly. But let's see what else we can train. Well, we can't train right now because we... don't I have a repair pad already? I think I do. We can't train because we're damaged. You can't train until your kaiju has been repaired. Okay, let's take a look at the training. Can we afford the eye lasers? Okay, thank you. Can we afford the eye lasers? Yes, we can. Let's get some eye lasers. Those are fun. We'll speed time up. And we'll just kind of wait for those to finish. Time slows back down to standard. Once something like that has finished, we'll go back to the world map, go back to Anchorage where we're making some progress, and speed up to maximum speed just to get there. And they'll be ready for us now. Yeah, they're prepared for our attack. No surprise there. So we're going to wade through as many houses as we can, try to knock down their percentage on morale. Their morale percentage. Well, first things first, we'll go for this police station. And see, the percentages, morale's already dropped to 60, at 59. So destroying housing, like I say, not as glamorous as a skyscraper, but really gets the job done. Can't argue with the effectiveness. Let's drop off a fireball here, or whatever that is, a spit attack, and let's kind of stuff be kind of going passively while we do other things. Boom! So we'll zoom in on it a little bit. I'm going to take down this fire hall, which, as far as I can tell, does actually make your the fires that you set seem to burn better and longer. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that. I'm not sure that that's actually the case, but it feels like it does. So yeah, we got them down to 52% morale. Yeah, this is really the way you do this. It also helps to get morale down when you stomp on people, as cruel as that sounds. Hey, the credit union, that'll have some money. Let's drop a fireball, make things go a little bit faster here. Well, that didn't really do anything, did it? Let's rob a convenience store. Alright. As you can see, we're not getting a ton of resources by going after the housing, but it is remarkably effective at taking down the morale. When we started, we were at 62 or 61. Now we're already at 48. So there's a very good chance that we can get the city to surrender to us this trip. We're not being terribly heavily damaged, but reinforcements are coming. Yeah, morale's down to 45. If we don't get it this time, we almost certainly will next time. Let's use the eye lasers. Those are fun. Yeah, I like the eye lasers. Those are nice. Yeah, DEFCON 4, that's not good for us particularly. The eye lasers are certainly much better for self-defense. Alright, we're taking out some helicopters. That's good. We'll try to defend ourselves a little bit better. Oh good, we got more books. We need more books. This high school should get us a book or two, I would think. Oh, just one. That's outstanding. Alright, we will continue trying to get this morale down. We're at 40%. Our health is still halfway decent. We're going to continue. No, I don't want to leave. Not yet. Oh yeah, I love taking out the helicopters because they usually take some stuff out with them. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Alright, morale's down to 35%. Our health is... Oh, and they've surrendered. Just like that. It actually, I gotta be honest with you, the first time I played this game, I must have made 4 or 5 trips to Anchorage because I could not figure out what I was supposed to be doing. But now, having had some practice, I see that you can actually do this fairly quickly. So now they've surrendered. This is the item, these are the resources that we've gathered here on our trip. They give us the key to the city, and Anchorage will be paying us tribute essentially from now on. So now we head back to the island, and we can just click through that, and oh, let's slow things down just a bit. And we're repairing our guy. We may not have enough. Yeah, not enough for the training facility. What about the research? Still no. Yeah, don't have enough stuff. Don't have enough stuff. In a way, it can be inconvenient for the kaiju to be too successful too fast, because it just doesn't always help you as far as gathering resources goes. Let's train this ability. This is a booster. You can use it to reset the cooldown on your abilities. You can use it to move faster for a shorter period of time if you need to get the heck out of dodge because you're taking damage. So yeah. Yeah, we need to build an advanced training facility. Now, again, what I like to do is to tackle these I like to tackle these green cities first. That's all we can really handle at this point, so we'll go to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Again, and they're on alert now. They're on alert even though we've never been here. They're on alert because it's part of the same region as Anchorage, and I guess they've heard about what happened. So, that, there is something to be said for spreading your attacks around. There's also something to be said for attacking higher tier cities before even before you're really ready to take them over, and that's because they generally have more resources on offer. Now they're going to definitely be harder to take. You won't be able to do very much damage if you go there kind of under-leveled, so to speak, even though there's not really levels in this game per se. But if you go kind of under-leveled, you will find that their facilities for defense are much better than what you're ready for. That's fine, because you can actually make a fair amount of money just kind of doing raids in a sense. Just kind of doing a raid and then getting the heck out of Dodge. Although Dodge City is not actually in this game, as far as I know. But yeah, just getting out of there and just kind of doing a raid and getting a bunch of resources and bugging out. In fact, we may do that here in a minute, and or maybe in the next video I'll show you that with my kind of higher ranked character that I have going, because this one is not... this is just the beginning of the game. And honestly, the beginning of the game is... it's a little slow. I'm not going to lie. Let's get rid of this light tank. Bye-bye! Nope, didn't work. Sometimes... I mean, the abilities are cool, and I like them. Okay, we just stomped him. The abilities are cool, and I like them, but sometimes they don't quite work how you expect that they will. Like that time I aimed the I-beams like right at that tank, and it just totally shot right next to him and didn't do anything. And the I-beams, to some extent will do that. I mean, they're just going to shoot kind of in a straight line, but yeah, so I do wish you had a little more control over some of that kind of stuff, but what can you do? So we will continue to just kind of march through the city here and get some resources. We're not in the business district right now. That's kind of over here. Albuquerque's bigger in terms of, just area than Anchorage in this. I don't know about real life, but it certainly is in this game. And so it just takes a little, there's just more to it. So you have to do more to get the morale down. We've got the morale down pretty good because we're mostly stomping around a residential area. Also, my strategy in the early game is to head like wherever the army is, to just kind of try to keep moving away from them for a while. When your defenses are relatively low and you don't have a lot of firepower yet, your armor's not that good yet, I try to just keep out of their way more than anything else. Kind of head towards this way. I also tried to, in the early game, I didn't do it as much in Anchorage because I knew exactly what needed to be done there, but in the early game it's better to kind of like work the perimeter in a way, because that way when your health starts to get low, like ours is kind of getting there now, personally my strategy has been when my health gets down to about half, I start making sure I've got an escape route. Because that last half can go pretty quick, and the reason for that is because after you've been there for a while, they just drag more and more, there's just more and more bad guys out there to come get you. So we'll go ahead and leave the city and head on back to base. It wasn't a bad raid. There's our monthly update, so our expenses are taken out of our budget here, and and so right, so now there's a patrol around, and that means that it's more likely that they'll be ready for you at cities that you've never been to in Region 1. And you can see that the outline of Region 1 is going to red. They're on alert. They know that we're coming. Now, what can you do about that? Well, one thing you can do is go to one of these other cities where they're not ready for you, and that's probably a good thing to do. So, yeah, so that's kind of how the game works overall. This video's gone about 30 minutes or so, probably a little longer than that by now. So we're going to, oh yeah, and you can see your reputation down here. I don't know exactly what the numbers mean though. So we're going to stop the video here, and the next video I'm going to show you my other game that I've been playing where my base is significantly leveled up, significantly built up. My dinosaur robot guy kaiju thing is significantly leveled up, has a lot more abilities at his disposal, and can really do some serious damage. And I'll show you what one of the higher tier cities looks like. So until then, I hope you're doing well, and we'll catch you in the next one.